Alright, looks like we are live. Excellent, excellent. Let me just get the chat up on my other screen here. For the stupid ad place. Alright. Got our live chat up. Hello everyone, Tad Larkin here, and today we're going to be making some more Star Wars Empire at War Forces of Corruption maps for my Forces of Corruption mod. I'm going to go to New Land. Now, this is kind of an arid, kind of a volcanic world. I'm going to put volcanic for the map type. Faction owner, since it's what do you call it, a Galactic Conquest map, I have to do it as branched, single player. Map name, Ord Cestus, planet name, Ord Cestus. For patches, last time we did I think we did 12 patches. Let's do 10 here. And then the boundary size, let's do 350 all around. Oh, 350. Howdy, folks. Hello, Zim. Hello, Cole Felon. Hello, Echo. Hello, Darth Prime. And hello, Anti-Dream Stands United. How we all doing this fine April Fool's evening? Hope none of y'all fell for any of the tricks that a lot of developers and stuff like to play around this time of year. Alright, so we got our map. Let's go load our textures. Where is Steam? There we are. Steam. Steam apps. Common. Hello everyone popping in. Sorry you got a cold there, Zim. There's Empire at War. Corruption. We want data. I think we want material sets? Yes. Let's do default volcanic. Yes. Let's load our environment. Go back a few folders here. Environment sets, default volcanic. That's fine. We want to get rid of the fog. And actually, you know what? Let us... Oh, remove. Let's load a different one. We want a night setting. What is default space lighting? Oh, that kind of gives us a cool... Oh, I like this. Let's go with that. Well, sorry you got fooled once yesterday. Alright, let's keep that, and then let's go to Skydome 1. Night Stars X1. Let's make this sun kind of... Oh, what is the fog? Let's make the angle of the sun go up a little bit here. Oh, oh. Oh, that's not what we want at all. Yeah, that's fine for now, actually. I just wanted it a bit darker. I don't think we need a second dome. Planetary rings aren't visible. don't think Cestus has rings anyway. Urban traffic? Does that do? That does nothing. It's fine. Evening. I'll do evening, blue horizon sky. I thought I had more night ones. I guess not. It's fine. Alright, so we've got our basic volcanic map here. So now, Cestus was the planet from the novel Cestus Deception, where Obi-Wan and Kit Fisto and a couple ARC troopers end up going to the planet. There's like a separatist-controlled cybernetic plant that's building this Jedi-killing droid, and they're there to stop it. Now, I'm trying to remember some specific details from the book, and I listened to the audiobook a couple weeks ago. And I remember specifically there was one thing about like a landing pad in a like a dormant volcano. So what I want to do here, actually, this is what I do with a lot of my maps. For those who watch my streams a lot, we'll do print screen. Let's open up a planning session here. Edit. Paste into new image. Let's get a layer going here. And I like to do my red pen. So, plan out my map here. I was thinking we'll have like the landing caldera maybe like around here-ish. And I'll have it raised, and then I kind of want like it to go like descending. So we'll do like a kind of like a natural, we'll make it look like natural. We'll make like a natural looking like ramp sort of descending in, because we in the novel there's like lots of like caverns, and a lot of the cities and stuff are actually underground, and it's kind of hard to do underground stuff in this game. So have our down arrow here. This will be LZ for our landing zone. Now we gotta figure out where I want some of the other capture points, and then where I want some of the buildings. And yeah, I kind of just went into this not blind, because I did reread the book, well, listened to the audiobook a couple weeks ago, but I think we should have like some caverns. That's what we need to do. We'll do like, I don't know, like, oh, that's not what I want. I want the pen back. Maybe we'll do like a maze or something. Let's do, oh no, I don't want the pencil. I want the paintbrush. Let's have like some, hold on. There's a better way I can represent this. I'll have like some craggy areas. I almost said mountainy, but not like super mountainy. Some like craggy areas. Kind of, we want to kind of like snake around a bit. I almost want it to be kind of like a maze, kind of, but not like too mazy. Because for those who play Empire at War a lot, sometimes the maps can get a bit like, I use the term MOBA-y, kind of like where you've got, you know, the 3 lanes and you have your heroes and units, and I kind of want to make it a bit more tactical than that. So we'll have it so it like snakes around, but we'll also have, instead of it being like a full-on maze here, maybe we'll have some areas like this. Maybe we'll have like, I don't know, maybe we'll have like one of the buildings here, either an out-base special structure or a in-base special structure. Glad to see everybody coming in and joining me on this fine Saturday evening. I want some craggy areas around here. Then we're gonna want like a little urban area. I kind of want it to be sunken in more because, like, to represent that it's like underground. Maybe we'll do like the city kind of like here-ish. In this, oh no, I don't want a square. I'd like a circle. Yeah. Do the city in like this area. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. So I like to do these little planning sessions first, and then, like, as I'm going along, I end up having different ideas. But this helps me at least get a good, you know, not really inspiration, but like a good idea of like what I can do. Some more craggy areas. Maybe we need stuff over here. Well, we're definitely gonna have like another like base structure or something over here. Oop, I don't want a city. Hold on, I'm getting a text. Honey, you could just come in. I don't have my camera on. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, folks. Alright, where was I? Oh, no, I wanted a square, not an ellipse. A square. Do another building there. Like I said, I'm just spitballing. I'll probably have different ideas as I go along. Need some more craggy areas. And you can't see, but I'm gonna have height differentiating. Like, this is gonna be pretty tall, and then you'll be gradually going down. This area I want to be like really sunken in there. And then I might actually, because I'm not gonna finish this map today, I'm gonna get a good start on it as I usually do. I might actually go through the book again, because I remember there being some water features. Maybe we get like a nice little underground lake or something. But yeah, so Ord Cestus is primarily, from what I remember, deserty, lots of dormant volcanoes, lots of non-dormant volcanoes, and most of the habitable areas are like down below. So this is a good enough start for now. I'm gonna obviously figure it out later. Just save it as Ord Cestus. There's a word I'm looking for. Forgive me, I'm tired. Call it preliminary plans. Boom. I'll just leave it here to reference. Does Ord Cestus ever come up again after the Clone Wars? Is it one of those worlds that falls into obscurity? I can only ever remember it being mentioned in Cestus Deception. And I honestly don't even remember the author writing for any of the other Star Wars books. Cestus Deception is my least favorite one out of... I can't say out of all the Star Wars books, but almost. Like, I like Crystal Star better than Cestus Deception. I just think a little bit of it was there's some parts like where it gets into a little bit of like pre-Karen Travis Mandalorian lore, and obviously, oh, I don't want to be in props. Let's get a leveling code brush here. Karen Travis basically created the language of the Mandalorians, and there's some stuff that doesn't fit in with that. That's because one of the characters, he's a ARC trooper, and he ends up renaming himself to Jango Tat, which apparently means son of Jango, but we know that's not an actual Mandoa word after Karen Travis made the language, but it's little inane stuff like that. And I didn't like the style of writing, really. The story wasn't bad, I didn't like the author's style of writing. It felt a little, I don't know, I felt like it's a novel published for, like, older readers, but I felt like I was reading one of the children's novels. And obviously, if you've ever read, like, the Jude Watson books, the children's novels are actually pretty well written, even, for that grade level. For terrain level, for our LZ here, which we're going to start with, let's go to, maybe we'll do like 150 to start. And I had it, like, not entirely in the middle, but, like, center north. So this will be our landing zone, Caldera. I don't remember why that imagery stuck with me, but I one of the last things I remember from my last listen through / read through is the description of a ship landing into this dormant volcano caldera, which in turn led into one of the cities. It was for, like, a diplomatic conference or something. Yoda Dark Rendezvous seems fast. I liked Dark Rendezvous better than Ort Cestus. Cestus Deception. I thought Scout was a pretty interesting character. And she even goes on to continue in the Republic Commando novels, which I also like. Too bad we never got to see, like, post Order 66, what she was up to. I like to think she joined the Jin Altis Jedi sect. We actually want the water table to be down until we figure out what we're doing with the water. Let's go back to additive. Let's make our radius, like, I want to say 80. Because now we're going to do, like, the crater of the caldera. We generally just want it to look a bit more volcano-y, if that's actually an adjective. Zim asks, do you remember which chapter of MedStar Battle Surgeons is the one where Barris healed the clone trooper with the Force? No, I can't really remember specific chapters. It's like trying to remember specific issues of comic books. I'm amazed of the people that can, like, pinpoint exactly what issue a certain character did or said what. It's like, bro, I can't even remember what I ate for breakfast this morning. How are you remembering that? No, that's not good. That's not what I want. What's your favorite of the multimedia project? Favorite novel, favorite comic, favorite video game, or favorite one out of all categories? That is the true question. Favorite novel is obviously Labyrinth of Evil, because that's just, one of the better written ones. I like Dark Rendezvous better than Jedi Trial. Jedi Trial wasn't bad. I was just very confused about Ninja Halcyon, especially going back and, you know, reading iJedi and the X-Wing novels for one of the commissions I have coming up. It's confusing trying to figure out where, you know, exactly, not in the timeline, but like where exactly, like, you know, Ninja Halcyon is at in his life with, yeah, it's difficult to explain. You get what I'm saying. We actually need to flatten a bit of this here, but here is our volcano. Favorite video game of the multimedia project? Has to be, I want to say Republic Commando. I do really like Republic Commando. The Clone Wars game itself was pretty awesome. I did think it was odd though, being a Jedi and being in vehicles 90% of the time. But as for obviously Battlefront 2, but I don't really, it's weird, Battlefront 2 I don't really count as part of the Clone Wars multimedia project, even though it was published around the same time. It's more of like a, I don't know, I felt like it was its own standalone thing. But favorite comic, well, it's obvious, and it's the obvious overrated answer, and that's the 3-part Jebim arc. Now, what issues they are, I can't remember. I think they were in the 50s or 60s. What I'm doing here is kind of making it look more volcano-y. Lucino fans trying to convince you he isn't boring. Writer challenge. Well, maybe I'm just a boring guy. And yeah, I understand people's dislike for Darth Plagueis, which I think is the best Star Wars novel ever. But because it's kind of a political thriller, but I like it. If you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to like it. I like it. We need to go back to leveling here, because now I gotta do the shitty part, which is the ramp all the way down. And we want to go gradual. There was going to be a novel about Shaak Ti, but it was cancelled in favor of Yoda Dark Rendezvous. Yeah, Escape from Dagu. I think it was fully written. If there's a way to go write it, I would love, or to go read it, I would love to partake. Because from the cover art, it looked pretty cool. What is your favorite Separatist that is not Dooku or Grievous? Well, I like Dirge. Tol Score is... he's cool looking, but we don't see him a lot. I think he's kind of cool. We don't get to see a lot of the Dark Acolytes. But I also really like Duoningo, who was the admiral of the Bulwark fleet that kind of screwed things up for the Republic a little bit out in the core. And it took both Screed and what's his face, Dodonna, to take him down. Alright, getting our ramp going here. Zonoma Seikot hyperspacing into the orbit of Yuuzhan Tar will never not be Kino. You're losing me on the Zoomer terms. Actually, I had to have Sombraptor explain to me the other day what the hell Kino meant. It's only because I took 2 years of German in high school that I could actually, like, figure it out. What are some hot takes on J. Michael Reeves? I've only heard good things about him. I'd have to remember what the hell he actually wrote. Oh, I want to change. So we're at terrain level 150. Let's go down 50. So let's go 100. And we will adjust accordingly. That seems steep, but whatever. Like I said, we will adjust accordingly. Has anyone explained what happened to Ken after the Jedi Prince series? I'm actually in the process of, after I kind of go through the X-Wing series again for a commission that's coming up, I'm in the process of actually... Oh, I fucked that up. I don't want that. Of actually reading the Jedi Prince series, because I actually got a couple of them off thrift books, which I wish would sponsor me, because I use them so often. The worst San ever wrote was just being mediocre, and if you're going to hang him for writing political stuff like Hand of Thrawn, then Lucino has to be hanged next to him for that sin. I'd agree with that take. Though, for some reason, Hand of Thrawn can put me to sleep. Whereas, you know, Darth Plagueis, I will devour that book. Just absolutely crush it. Maybe just because I don't like Borsk Phalia, but that's the whole shtick of his character, is that you're supposed to hate him. Here, let's go back to additive. Because I really want to make this a bit smoother. I'm having trouble here. Oh, didn't he co-wrote a lot of that stuff too with I forget the other guy's name. But the thing is, I love all of those books. And I love, like, some of the interconnectiveness that they have together, too, in other books. So, like, for example, the kid doctor from MedStar, I can't remember his name. The kid from Tatooine. He ends up showing up in the Death Star novel, which I thought was a surprising little thing when I first read it. Why the fuck am I having such trouble trying to make a ramp? Yes, Steve Perry. That was the other guy. He co-wrote a lot of stuff with him. And I think I don't have any hot takes about them. I think those books are fantastic. Unless that in of itself is a hot take, then I guess that's my only hot take. Bear with me, folks. I'm really trying here to make this damn ramp. It's not easy in this game. This isn't panning out the way I want it to, folks. I'm really having a lot of trouble making this ramp. It looks like garbage and I want to start over, but I don't know how. Well, I could just undo it to death, but that would kind of suck. Would Jarek's group of the Dark Jedi be counted as members of the Imperial Inquisition? Well, seeing as it's post-Palpatine, I feel like Jarek's Dark Jedi after, like, around the time of Jedi Knight 2, or technically Jedi Knight 1, Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight 1, I feel like, well, I have an idea how to fix this after, but I'm going to go down to the next step. Let's go to 50. Where was I? Where was my train of thought here? No, I feel like at that point, they were just Jarek's own thing, because Jarek was trying to build his own empire, getting the finding the Valley of the Jedi to absorb its power so that he could be basically the next Palpatine and rule the galaxy. So at that point, I don't think they'd be part of the Imperial Inquisition. If you're talking, you know, pre-Endor, then I believe they would fall under the Imperial Inquisition, unless, of course, they weren't sanctioned, and Jarek just kind of, you know, recruited them on his own. Then I don't know. Probably not. Oop. Jarek was being funded by the Pentastar alignment and using their equipment and troops and whatnot, but oh, sorry, my chat randomly went away. But he was in it for himself. He wanted to be the next emperor, as you do when you are a Sith Lord. As one does. I don't own the Dark Forces novels, but I have the radio dramas, and I listened to them when I did my Kyle Katarn video. So and the audio dramas don't go really into that. I'd be interested in seeing and getting my hands on the actual novels and seeing what they say. Alright, it's starting to look a tiny bit better. Still not as gradual as I would like. And this whole episode is Tad building ramps, while talking about the intricacies of Jarek's plan and Dark Forces. Which of the two was a better apprentice of Vader, Starkiller or Lumaya? Well, Lumaya survived, so if you want to go by Darwinian standards, you know, she kind of takes the cake, considering that she basically goes on to be not really the, like, the next iteration of the Bay Knight Sith, but she keeps that tradition alive a bit and then passes it on with Jason. But technically she's one of Palpatine's hands, so at one point she kind of stops being Vader's secret apprentice, and I feel like, if I remember correctly, Palpatine knew about her. But and Starkiller, well, he ended up, you know, turning back to the light side of the Force. And whether you believe Subject 1138 was the full-blown clone or the actual Starkiller, it's debatable, but... And I don't go by the video game logic, because the games were S-canon, and the powers weren't... Though the whole premise of the game was to, in Hayden Blackman's own words, kick people's ass with the Force. So, I kind of go with the novelizations, which really tone him down more to, like, more realistic movie levels. Lumaya is one of my least favorite bits of the EU. I mean, to each their own. I think she's pretty cool. I know they were kind of going with the female Vader shtick, but I think it worked. And I really like the concept of light whips, which, you know, some people might not like, but I think they're cool. Alright, this might be the best I can do for our ramp here. But now, I can... I think I can fit an ATTE down here. That's all that matters. But now, we're on additive. Let's bring the radius back to like 50. Let's get some walls up in this here. Whatever you want to call it. Non-ADA compliant ramp. Oh, that's right. She trained Carnor Jax as well. I forgot about that. He was kind of a lame duck of a quote-unquote Sith. If you even really kind of count him in that arena. Looking smooth, just like my brain. Crate honestly had a way better track record. Probably. If Brian from Barb's Basement is lurking in here, because I know he's a big Legacy fan, but he'd be disappointed to know that I'm well due for a reread of the Legacy comics. Because I haven't read them since I did the Fell Empire video years ago. So I'm due for a reread. Especially when the Timeline series gets closer to that era. But we're still in the New Republic period, so... Alright, I'm liking our caldera here. Got our nice caldera landing platform. Behold, I can levitate this rock. I am inheritor of Palpatine's legacy. What do you think your favorite underrated... What do you think is your favorite underrated Star Wars comic book? So now I gotta think underrated. That's a tough one. I don't see people talking about Boba Fett blood ties enough. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right places, but I love blood ties. I think it's a crucial bit of expanded universe material, and so that it takes all of Boba's backstories, all the multitude of different backstories he's had over the years, and combines them into one in a way that makes complete and total sense, and it really just brings his character around. We also get to see Why is his wife's name escaping me when I made the whole family tree literally a couple months ago for last video? Why is it escaping me? The Kifar lady. Anyways, we got to see like his relationship, like get glimpses into his relationship with Cestus fell. And also Kid Aelin cracks me up because it's like this little freaking 11-year-old girl with a PLX rocket launcher. It's amazing. And Connor Freeman's a good character too. All right, so we've got our little thing. What's next? Got our volcano. Guess we could do this kind of mountainous area over here. And like I said, probably at Monday at work, I'll listen to the audiobook again, because it's only like, I think it's like 3 hours long. Because it's the abridged one. They don't have a full-blown one yet. Where I'll get some more details and imagery. Because what I'm going off of a few scenes in my head. And, oh, do I even want mountains there? Yes. And also there's like one image of Ord Cestus from the, not that I ever use it as a source because Pablo Hidalgo is a joke to me, but the Essential Reader's Companion. But I think that scene was supposed to be at night too, so. Like I said, this map could change drastically by the next time you see it or when you actually play the mod. I need to know if Vinny is okay. Do you mean Villy? Like Villy Gark from the Republic comics? He's one of my favorite characters. I like Villy and Mar are some of my two favorite comic book characters because I really like the comic relief slash really scummy folks. I don't know why, I just get a kick out of it. We want some terrain variation too. I kind of want the terrain to sink a little bit. Like I said, I want this area to be like pretty deep. So here, let's just finish this kind of mountain range over here a little bit first. And then we'll start playing with making the levels a little bit lower. Go back up in the chat here. Oh, he was talking about Vinny from Blood Ties, not Billy. I remember that one issue of Legacy where the spirits of Bane, Nihilus, and the other Sith called out Crate for not being a true Sith. Yeah, it was Andedu. Well, when you think about it, the rule of one is ultimately what the Sith would strive for anyways. Because they're selfish and they want to keep the power for themselves. And when you have a system like the rule of two, where each generation of Sith gets stronger and stronger every year because it's the apprentice learning everything from the master and then killing off the master, at some point you're going to get to that crux in that evolution where the last person in the chain is as powerful as they can get. And then of course you get the rule of 1 from that. But what I never got is why Crate kind of surrounded himself with other Sith. I mean, if you could call them Sith Lords, because it wasn't like the pre-Bay Knight Sith where there was Sith, running around everywhere. But yeah, he has all these like apostles or disciples or whatever of Darksiders running around, like Rylock and Nile and Talon. And it's like, wouldn't the rule of 2, or the rule of 1 rather, just kind of eventually phase all of them out to where you were just the one and only? But then we kind of get into some what is it called? Sorcerers of Rand crap, where start getting into the nihilistic stuff, where it's like just kill everything, let the dark consume everything. Which I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, Crate did learn a little bit from the Sorcerers of Rand. Or at least the Prophets of the Dark Side. I think he killed off the Prophets of the Dark Side. Or maybe that was Lumaya. I'm getting my Siths my post-Return of the Jedi Siths mixed up here. Quinny! Okay, I'm like, what are you talking about, Vinny? I don't remember Vinny. Yeah, let's get, Alright, let's get some terrain differentiation going on here. And like I said, I want a water feature somewhere. I feel like we should have some water. Let's make the terrain level negative. Let's just start at negative 40. And let's bring our radius to 200. Oh yeah, let me bring the water table down. Bring that right up and I'll smooth it out after. Smooth all of this crap out after. And obviously I'll add more textures and stuff after as well. Okay, it was Lumaya who killed off the Prophets of the Dark Side. Or was that Chronal? I think actually it might have been Chronal. Or was it Chronal working with Lumaya? Dude, I don't remember. It's also quite late where I'm at and I'm tired. But I want to get some progress on my mod done, damn it. It would be amusing if Crate got bodied again by Obi-Wan's Force Ghost after he became Darth. What? I don't really understand that. I don't understand bubble comedy, but you do. Alright, let's, that's not what I wanted. Oh, shite. Kind of spitballing here on the terrain leveling, but whatever. Let's go back to additive. We need to smooth some shite out. Let's make it 50. That's fine. It'll be fine. Holy crap, we got 12 people. Full house. "12 people in the chat decided to hang out with me tonight. It's almost like I have real friends." I'm kidding. I do have friends. Well, kind of. I'm at that age where, like, a lot of the people I knew in high school, I don't really give a shit about anymore. And it's just a chore to, like, keep up with people. And honestly, sometimes I just don't fucking care. Alright, starting to get some smoothing out here, making it look more natural. Tad hitting hard with the friends subject. Well, where are you all on a Saturday night? You're here with me. Is it Saturday night? It is Saturday night. Technically it's Sunday morning where I'm at. Zim, do you have Empire at War on Steam, or do you have it on disc? You might not be able to play it if you have... You might not be able to play this if you have it on disc. Alright, cool, cool. Nice start, nice start, nice start. Let's get some textures up in this bizzle. Oh. As long as I have the voices in my head, I'll never be alone. Do you hear the voices too? For any of you who don't know, that is Dawn of War, Warhammer 40,000. I believe that was the Khorne Berserker. I am not your bootlick. Alright, let's get some textures up in this bizzle. So for our volcano here, we want some, like, dried magma. Magma. Why is this orange? Oh, because this is not dried magma. Let's use this one. Let's also get, let's make this... Well, it's going to be high walls here, so let's make it 70. Oh, nope, I wasn't on anything. Let's try this again. 70. Okay, it's just the shadow. And obviously I'll do some texture differentiation here, but we'll get a nice good starting layer going. It's Tad trying to find another poorly named texture for the next 15-minute episode. Yeah, the developers didn't really name the textures that well. Lava, W Lava Rock 03, and then W Tat Rock 01 is the bump texture. So it's just a recolored Tatooine rock. Oh no, I don't want the caldera to be this exact same texture. That's good. Now let's kind of make the grains go a couple different directions here. Yeah, that's a little. Yeah. Eh. Yes. Yes. Hello, Bendak Star Killer. Welcome to the party. There we go. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Alright, what are we going to put in the middle of our caldera here? Holy moly, that's terrible. Oh, this looks like some dried magma. I've got a couple different grains going in a couple different ways. That looks good. Alright, let's cover this whole area here. Obviously, we'll sprinkle some other stuff, other textures in to make it look more natural. That face when no late Legacy era mod except for one years and years ago, that's super outdated. I played it a little bit. I think it's fun. It was just updated on Steam not too long ago. So if I go here, let's go to workshop to subscribed items, date updated. Yeah, Legacy at War, the mod you're talking about, just updated. What? Technically yesterday, April 1st. So maybe it's time to go back and try it out. Alright, now we need some texture differentiation here. And since it's a landing pad and it's a dormant volcano, we could do some concrete as well. But, yeah. Let's go like, I liked 70 where we were at. Ah, that kind of sucks, actually. I don't like the look of that. Hello, Patrick Tarmy. Let us do... let's get some concrete textures up in here. And we'll add some like volcanic sand and whatnot. To make it look less terrible. Like somebody just drew it on. Or actually, we can get some props and outline it. Because it is an active landing area, actually. Let's do that. Well, actually, let's make this hard edge. That'll help us here. Do you think the landing pad should be slightly elevated from the ground? Yes, that's a good point. Here. I can do something like that. Height. Let's go to leveling. This, I believe, is at 150, if I remember correctly. So we'll do terrain level, we'll do 165. Johnny Ridden asks, favorite unresolved EU plot hook? Ooh, that might not be... It's not tall enough for me. Let us do 170. No. 180. Yes. It'll do. Let's actually go back. I'll do 30. So I'm trying to think of my favorite unresolved plot hook. Well, we still don't remember. We still don't know what happened to the little Toydarian dude in the Starfighter games. Can't remember if it was Jedi Starfighter or what, but or if it was regular Starfighter. But the little Toydarian dude, Reddy, I think was his name. We don't know what happens to him, and then obviously Sev is another unresolved plot point. But we can infer what happens from the game devs. Shit. It's actually Sobraptor who asked in a Reddit AMA with the former developers of the game what the hell they were planning on doing with Sev. So we know that he was planned to become... shit. I itched my shoulder and fucked this up. He was planned to become, like, the leader of the rebel commandos, or, like, the guy who trained all the rebel commandos. Which I'm kind of glad they didn't go with, because, I'm pretty sure Crix Maydeen was the one who trained the rebel commandos, because in the X-Wing games, he's the one who founded the Imperial Storm Commandos, and then when you go and liberate him, he has his own force of rebel commandos. Oh yeah, Ventress and Alpha. If you're like me and you don't count TCW, Ventress has a unresolved plot point where her and Alpha end up going to the unknown regions. I don't think she knew Alpha was on her medical frigate, though. Actually, no. No, she did, because they were both in the cockpit at the end. Well, I highly doubt they fell in love. I'll say that much. Trying to think of some more unresolved plot points. Sorry, not sure if this counts, since there was affinities about it, but mine was, where was Quinlan Voss during the original trilogy and after? Yeah, because Quinlan Voss survives, and in the Tales comics, there's a couple different Tales comics he appears in. There's one where a very young Han Solo, he ends up helping out of a bind. And then I was pretty sure there was another one where him and Villy were somewhere, and then Han Solo ran into him again. More importantly, where was his son? Did he... I believe he named him Cordo. Did Corto ever become, a Jedi? Did he join Luke's new Jedi Order? Those were... It would have been cool, actually, to have, Corto go and do that, but... We don't know if Quinlan... Well, he probably would not have gone back to Kifu after the whole killing the chief thing. Well, there goes the Ventress X Alpha 17 story idea, lol. Yeah, something, unless Alpha is really into BDSM, something about, the whole being tortured for a month in her prison on Rat Attack tells me that, I don't think Alpha would have been too thrilled to find that his shuttle had been hijacked by the same lady who kept and tortured him for a month. I'd wager that Voss died before the NJO, valid. And his son just didn't pursue it, possibly. It's quite possible he didn't even train his son to be a Jedi, and Corto had no knowledge of his, well, possibly had knowledge, but just didn't pursue education for it. Motherfucker. If you only knew how difficult it is to get square corners in this map editor. I almost completed the square. And then if you want the landing pad to be bigger, too bad. I refuse. Hell, maybe Corto goes off and finds Kakruk. Because Kakruk had his own little Jedi school going. Motherfucker. Here. There we are. Not every Jedi has to come and join Luke's new Jedi Order. I agree. However, when you have that many Jedi survive... This is a problem I have with both the expanded universe and the new canon. We have all of these Jedi surviving Order 66, and... it kind of breaks up the whole, Luke is the last hope thing. Not entirely. I understand that these guys are defeated and, not pursuing the Jedi lifestyle anymore, but it's one of the things that always irked me. And, you know, having the new canon fans mock us for having all these Jedi surviving Order 66, and then their canon does the same exact thing. It's like, come on. But, I don't remember where I was going with that. Alright, let's make this radius a bit bigger. Let's do 80. Too big. 50. There was a wannabe Dark Jedi that appeared in Empire that looked similar to one of his students who got ganked. Why did Legends keep saying that the Mandalorians were wiped out even though that never happened? Lie, Boba Fett is the last Mandalorian. I never heard anywhere that the Mandalorians were wiped out in the expanded universe. They were enslaved by the Empire and forced to mine Beskar for 20 years till Leia came and helped Fenchisa liberate them. Now, the closest the Mandalorians ever got to being wiped out was Malachor. There we go. With the results of Darman, Niner, and Reed heading to Scarata's hideout to be an unresolved plot hook, Darman was kind of mad at Zay being around his son, and he wasn't fond of most Jedi at that point. Well, if you remember from the Imperial Commando books, Darman, like, in the last book, like, they're about to go to Manda-LORE, and then Darman, he's about to go and see his son again, and then he turns back and says, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna stay here because I've got some unresolved business. That's already kind of like a unresolved plot hook, but Legacy of the Force suggests that... Actually, no, there's nothing in Legacy of the Force to suggest that he did come back. I like to think that he did, but I don't know, I get the impression that Venku was kind of raised by all of his uncles at once, and then that's why when he shows up in Legacy of the Force, he has all the different pieces of their armor, and he's like this multicolored Mando. Alright, Anti-Dream stands. I've got your square landing pad. I hate you for it, but you got it. Here. Motherfucker. Actually, let's do the top with this texture, and then we'll do another urban metal texture for the actual pad itself. Lovely. Motherfucker. There we are. Ooh. Nope, missed the spot. Okay, so now how do they get down? Darth Prime says, maybe The Force Unleashed 3 would have explained what happened to Ram Koda. I don't even think there should have been a Force Unleashed 2. But then again, you bring up the interesting point of even if there wasn't a Force Unleashed 2, Ram Kota's fate still comes into question. I'm of the opinion that Ram Kota should die before A New Hope, simply for the fact that he is a very active, practicing, fighting against the Empire Jedi. I feel like that ruins the whole... That would ruin all of Luke's journey if he was still alive by A New Hope. With the other Jedi, it's more excusable because they've given up on being Jedi, and they're in hiding for their own survival. Actually, Tad, if you have a problem with Jedi surviving the Purge, what do you think of Cam Solusar? I need to actually read up more on Cam Solusar. Once we get into, like, the late, like, early Legacy era, things start becoming a little fuzzy for me because I haven't read a lot of that new stuff. I say new, but it's not new. There was a period of... a couple years before the buyout where I just got super fucking fed up with Star Wars. Even, like, before the new canon even existed. Just because all of the crap with TCW and things kind of, you know, following that, I knew there was going to be a new canon, basically. I didn't know that they were going to completely destroy the EU, and, I thought they were just going to retcon everything to all hell until it became unrecognizable. But I knew there was a new canon coming, and so a lot of, like, Fate of the Jedi and stuff like that, I never read, I didn't read those until, like, maybe, like, maybe, like, it feels like 5 or 6 years ago, but in reality it was, like, 7 or 8 years ago, when I started this channel, and realized that they're actually pretty good. But oh yeah, where I was going with that was I need to read up on a lot of that early Legacy era stuff, like pretty much everything after New Jedi Order. And even so, my only exposure to the New Jedi Order has been the abridged audiobooks. Whereas I only have a few of the physical books. That's one of the collections I need to complete. I only just completed the X-Wing series maybe 6 years ago, where I had read those books before, but I hadn't owned the physical copies. With the release of Lightsider, Cam would have to be in his... Okay, was Lightsider that Tom Veitch story that came out after his death that was never published? And probably not published for a reason? What was I doing here? Oh yeah, let's make this 165. That's what I was doing. I was building a ramp, and then you were all flustering me with your questions. No, I don't care. You're not flustering me. I'm just being an ass. I'm going to make this wide enough for an ATTE to come down. It wasn't published because of licensing hell. Yeah, a friend of mine gave me a copy of Lightsider to read. It's sitting on my desktop. I have not read it yet because I just don't have... I mean, I could be reading it now, but then I wouldn't be hanging out with you guys. So when I say I just don't have time to read it, I guess I could make the time. However, I just choose to do different things with that time. So yes, eventually I'll go and read Lightsider. But if you're saying there's such a huge continuity issue like that, do I even want to? Alright, let's go back to textures. Finally finish this landing pad we've been staring at for however long the stream's been going on here. Textures. We need to get some textures. Let me save first, actually. Oh, yeah, I probably should have saved from the very beginning. Save as... what do we want to save it as? Legends mod collected folder. Legends mod maps. Save it as land, planet, ord, Cestus. Because when loading in textures, it can become fucky, where it might just crash on you. I think I want to go to like urban, so I want to go to U. Urban core build, urban metal. Urban metal. Make it a hard edge. Let's do like 15? No. Let's make it 10. Oh, shite. There we go. Motherfucker. That's annoying. There we go. Much better. That's annoying. There we are. Tion would have been in her 40s or 50s by then. Yeah, robbing the cradle. Or she's robbing the grave. Motherfucker. Wow, that's annoying. Sorry. You're with me. Working with tight tolerances here. Oh, that's so dumb. I'll fix that after. Come on. There we go. Ooh, I can't wait to be done with this stupid landing platform. There. Huzzah. Lightsider is pretty short but hard to read in leaked format. Alright, we need like some stairs or something. Or just like... No, no, no. No. We could do this, then change the orientation to 90. Oh. What the fuck? No, I just like that. Let's just go back to the landing pad here. Oh, nope, that's not what I want. There. That'll be fine. It'll be fine. There we go. Good as new. Now let's get some props up in here. Props urban. I use these ones a lot. I should use a different wall here. Bear with me. Ooh, I should probably use some antennas on the corners. I think these light up. I think these have like little light diodes on them, if I recall correctly. Or not. I don't know. Looks spacey though. Urban block. No. Build facade. No. Corner. Girder. Half wall. I use a lot of these too. Now let's go back up to the Camino one. I like the Camino wall. Ah, no. I don't know. Oh, maybe there's a railing. There's a railing somewhere. Urban wall? No. Urban walk railing. That's what I want. Yes, this will do nicely. Let's make it 90. And these light up, so there we go. We get my lights in here. Personally, I think Lightsider actually tracks. Cam was born while the Republic was still around, and his birth was kept secret. Him being 90 doesn't contradict anything in the Legacy era books. Maybe he's just one of those really, really, like, healthy folks. Wasn't it established that human Jedi could live up to, like, 100 and something years? And even with all the medical technology in Star Wars, your life expectancy is probably pretty substantial. Oh, I didn't copy it. It's probably pretty substantial anyway. Granted, if you don't get caught in the many wars that happen in the Star Wars galaxy. Okay, cool. Nope. Here. Let's do that. Control C. The 0? Yes. Yes. That's good. 'Tis very good. Iron Inquisitors here. Cal Scarrato was fighting in his 70s, so it's believable. He was kind of stubborn, though. He didn't like doctors. That's why he walked around with a limp for like 30 years. I can't remember if in the books he did finally get that shrapnel out of his leg. Lightsiders tend to age better. Palion was also in his 90s. He was, but he was definitely his age. I don't think it's a length of life so much as quality. You will most likely be able to walk and function and not have dementia. Yeah, Palion was pretty sharp still. He was still Supreme Commander of the Imperial Remnant. And doing fine with that. Well, other than the whole Tahiri killing him thing. But that's a, that's a separate issue. 270. Even so, fighting with a limp and winning, well, I've only seen that a couple of times IRL. Yeah, Cal was one tough son of a bitch. I hear a lot of people, I see people in here talking about KOTOR 2, and there was talks about female versus male exile. And I heard a lot of people prefer the male exile versus the female exile. I wonder if it's the same, if people have the same opinions about female Revan versus male Revan. I know a lot of people in the Mass Effect community prefer Femme Shep versus male Shepherd. Was there ever an explanation for the Imperial Navy not multiplying when Pelion was killed and the Moff sided with his murderer? Granted the fact that the Second Galactic Civil War only lasted like a year compared to the 20 years the actual Galactic Civil War lasted. Let's try 180. They might not have had time to actually beef up their navy before the end of the conflict. But if you're talking about in general, is it possible that the Pelion-Gaversum Treaty introduced restrictions on whether, like, how much the Imperial Remnant could produce for their fleet capacity? Kind of like the, for like a real life example, the Treaty of Versailles limitations on Germany's navy after World War I. I could see the New Republic imposing something on that effect on the Imperial Remnant. However, I don't know if Pelion would have signed that treaty. Something worth looking into. Not multiply, mutiny, revolt, avenge him. Oh, okay. Well, that comes with a tricky what's what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, that looks so much better with the railings. I like that. It's like tricky internal politics. How can I make this look better? I have an idea. And you know, things are going on in the middle of a battle too. And how loyal were all of Palion's officers and stuff actually to him? How many were, you know, paid off by... I can't remember the name of the Moff who was working with Tahiri that kind of usurped after Palion's death. But how many were bought off by him? You know, these are questions we would need answers to. So the public story was that it was Colonel Solo, who was GA, who ordered Palion killed, not the Moff Council. Yeah, but I distinctly remember members of the Moff Council wanting him killed. And then there was that one who was really sneaky about it. I can't remember his name. He was like a semi-big part in the story. Maybe it's time for a Legacy reread too. As much as I'd rather not. I don't hate Legacy, it's just a clusterfuck. I'm just kind of trying to make this look better here. Like, not as clustery. Fuck. It's not really gonna give me what I want here. They did. They got away with it in return for putting Fel as head of state and then making half of the Moff Council female by Dala. It's practically a personality cult. He could credibly have taken the Navy as his personal force in NJO. Yeah, like I said, it's time for a Legacy reread. I really don't like that. Oh well, I think this ramp is just doomed to look dumb. Anyways, let's put some crates and stuff on it. Props generic. Didn't the remnants stay allowed to the GA though? I think after the Second Galactic Civil War, they remained part of the GA, but I'm unsure at that point of the actual war. Can you copy and paste from other maps? Yes, you can. There's, trying to think, where are those crates? Prop crate. Here we are. Have some crates in the corner here. Everybody loves crates. And now, let's put down some markers. We want initial camera. No, not initial camera position. That's kind of a useless one. We want not land defender position. We want the opposite of that. Where the fuck is it? Attacker entry position. That's what it was. Let's make it like. Oh no, I like 180. And then for a reinforcement point, we'll just do like let's do a 4 cap. Set that to neutral. Cool. So we've got our landing area. I am happy. Tad is a happy boy. I'll save. Always wanted to get these map editors. They are free. Yeah. What next? We got some more mountain ranges to do. Additive, let's make it like 150, I said. Or no, let's do 100. Cool, cool. For real, no cap. Oh, got a couple Discord messages. I'll check those later. Let's do... Let's focus on this little mountain range here, kind of. Well, first we need like an end to this one that we were working on earlier. Trying to get into the RC map editors, but it keeps crashing when I open the textures tab. Yeah, I've never bothered modding Republic Commando. The only mods I would ever do for Republic Commando, if I knew how to mod it, was I'd make the DC-17 more, like, powerful. Because I feel the blaster pistol is far more powerful than the actual carbine, which is weird. Then, the only other thing I would do is make it co-op so I could play with my friends. But that might be difficult to do with a mod. Hey Tad, glad to finally be able to catch one of these streams live. I hope you're doing good. Love seeing more Empire War stuff. Thank you, Jedi Master Ronan. RC needs a better crosshair, more accuracy for the DC-17, and more inventory for the actual fun guns. Yeah, it sucks having to, like, you know, have to choose, like, basically one pickup gun. Where it's like, oh, yeah, I want the APC array gun, but at the same time, the Geonosian beam thing could come in handy. I enjoyed the DC-17 well enough. I mean, yeah, it's fine, but I feel like you have to empty your entire clip into, you know, something to kill it. It just feels extremely underpowered. ACP, APC. Yeah, I'm dyslexic. I have a very sexy learning disability. What do I call it, Kif? Sexlexia. I'm not actually dyslexic, as far as I know, but there are some things when I read them that for a split second when I skim look like other things. It's just the whole thing. I know for Republic Commando there's a whole mod where you can be like ARC troopers and stuff, and that they have like a custom story. And you can get like the Westar M5 rifle, which is cool, but have not played it. It looked cool. Everyone has a little tism, no worries. Well, I mean, when you dress up in full Mandalorian armor and talk about, you know, obscure Star Wars stuff that, you know, most normal people wouldn't know or even care about, there's definitely a spectrum there. One thing I would change in RC is the health of the standard clone troopers. I don't know, I never thought they actually helped anyways. I know on the Prosecutor, you can actually save a whole squad of clones from getting ripped apart by a turret, but... Could be worse. You could be into trains. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I could be into trains. Yeah. Fun fact: Delta Tad is actually into trains. So yeah. There's a spectrum. Private fact you didn't know about Tad, number 151. Johnny read it. Oh no. Yeah. Imagine it's the year 2005, you finished Republic Commando and can't wait for Republic Commando 2, Imperial Commando, and then 16 years later they replace boss with wannabe Rambo and the Short Bus Squad. Oh man, don't cancel me for reading that comment. That was bad, I'm going to hell. Oh man. You know, I remember when I was like 10 or 11, I was playing Star Wars outside with one of my friends who's my neighbor. And of course we were being clones because we were Kloomers. And remember we were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if there was like female clones too? Because we were that weird pre-pubescent age. And I remember looking back a couple years later and be like, wow, that was cringy. And now here we are. It's a thing. Though, a nice touch giving Omega the blonde hair, though. At least somebody was paying attention to the comics. Because Django's sister, Arla, was blonde, because his mother is blonde. Coming storm, add a train to the map. I'd like to, for the Kessel map at least, because there's a hover train on Kessel in the X-Wing games, the Rogue Squadron games. Clumers! I also came up with this idea when we were 12-ish. Yeah, pretty interesting that the modern story beats are things fans already came up with when they were 12. Just very interesting. I've always wondered how Coruscant and the other Inukiminopolises, don't at me, I don't know how to talk, deal with light pollution, if at all. I feel like everybody on Coruscant has, what are those shades called that the people in Alaska that have the, like, month, like, of sunlight a year? What are they called? Like, blackout shades. Yeah, I imagine everybody on Coruscant has blackout shades. Darth Prem says, I noticed Captain Rex had blonde hair, which left my head scratching. That, I think he dyed. That, I think, was a dye job. Because a lot of the other clones in that show dyed their hair and did different hairstyles, which I liked. I think it was interesting. I like how on the action figure for Captain Fordo they gave him a little goatee. With the addition of femme clones and Clumers, the risk of Shadman art increases exponentially. I don't know these Wojak Zoomer terms. You'll have to translate for me. That's because a lot of the writers today are fans. I was more or less commenting on the fact that the writers today have the mental capacity of a 12-year-old. If 12-year-olds are coming up with the same story ideas. Do not look up Shadman. As a general rule, I don't look up anything anymore. I'd rather have one of my nieces or nephews or younger brothers or somebody explain this new crap to me. I remember reading a guidebook for TCW that some of the clones had blonde hair due to the cloning process not being completely free of mutation. I don't know what the book was called, though. I don't think it was the Essential Guide to Warfare, because I read through that recently for another commission, and that didn't have anything about that. They turned clone commandos into fodders. It's interesting how in the expanded universe lore that a lot of the commandos died on Geonosis because the Jedi didn't know how to use them. They were just using them as standard infantry, whereas they're, not really made While they are elite heavy infantry, they're not really made and trained for that operational, um, whatever it's called, role. And that's what got a lot of the commandos killed. And then modern canon uses the commandos the exact same way. They don't know how to actually use them. You're out of touch. You're out of touch. Alright, so we got some friendly little mountains. There was stuff in the extended cut of Essential Guide to Warfare how even the Kaminoan cloning process could be flawed, but nothing about blonde hair. I mean, I would believe it though, because like I said before, Django's mother and sister had blonde hair. So if it was a mutation thing, it would make sense. Maybe one of those genes that didn't manifest in Django, manifested without manipulation from the Kaminoans. I don't know, I'm not a genealogist. It wasn't the Essential Guides, it was something else. You can't be out of touch, Tad. It's not Thursday. I don't know what that has to do with being out of touch. I was more or less referring to the writers of the current continuity as out of touch. How do you feel about Kamino being destroyed and being replaced by Mount Tantus in the new canon? Well, they copied that from the expanded universe. Kamino wasn't destroyed, but the cloning facilities on Tapoka City did get a whopping. Sorry, I'm looking where to put my mountain ranges. Yeah, that's good. And while the Empire didn't immediately stop using clones, what they did was they started accepting clones from other templates. And the Mount Tantus facility having Spartai cylinders was one of the facilities that produced clones. In fact, during the Clone Wars, it wasn't just Kamino that produced clones. There was also Spartai cylinders liberated from the Battle of Carteo that were put on Coruscant's moon, Centex 2. And that's where a lot of the later 501st Legion and Coruscant Guard clones came from. That's discussed in Republic Commando. I can't remember which. I think it might be Order 66. Or it's the one before that. Manda-LORE, have you not heard of Out of Touch Thursday? I haven't. So I guess I'm especially out of touch then. Kamino got financially destroyed, just not real destroyed. Well, like I said, Tapoka City was orbitally bombarded after the clone uprising. But they continued to use clones from there, as we see in Revenge of the Sith. True Acklers went over the Spartai cylinders. In the EU, it was mostly the Jedi's fault and was their first experience. In canon, it was 40 years after the Battle of Geonosis, and the Commandos are less competent than regular clones. Yeah, one of the other things that irked me was the cross training for ARC troopers. Whereas we have like Clone Trooper Core. He was a regular clone trooper and he was cross trained to be a commando. But because the ARC troopers are established to be more in line with Django's. Like, they have less genetic tampering, and they're more raw Django than the regular clone troopers. That it's kind of doesn't work to cross-train regular troopers as ARC troopers, because they don't have that same degree of independence and sheer fuck you, I do what I want attitude that Django had. They're still very much the, you know, brainwashed, went through the simulations, run-of-the-mill clone troopers. And while you can, like, sort of encourage free thinking, they're going to be reluctant to do so because they've told their whole life that the chain of command exists for a reason and that you're to serve and fight and die for the Republic. So, clone commandos can be competent because good soldiers follow orders. New Cannon seems to have some brain damage from the chips activating. Public Commando True Colors, I mean, yeah. I can't, like I said, I can't remember if it was True Colors or if it was Order 66. Alright, this Order Cestus is coming along. Coming along pretty good. Alright, we want a little city area here. And textures. Let's save and get some urban concrete up in here. Well, first of all, let's actually go to height. Take our leveling code brush. I said this was... This area is like -40. I haven't blended it in yet. I can do that later. We'll make this area like -60. -60. We'll bring our radius back to 200. Nope, bring our water table. Oh. Back down. And obviously we will sort of do more heights around, differentiating heights around here and kind of blend them in a bit so it looks more natural. But like I said, I really want to get the sense that this city is underground. Ooh, tons of stuff here. These are the same guys who mostly killed their own commanders on a dime because wacky wizards on a holo projector told them to. Did Dooku's acolytes function similar to the similar in the CIS to the Jedi and the GAR, or was their role more minor? Well, we know that Ventress held the rank of commander. She wasn't a general. We also know that the CIS had their own flesh and blood generals. And that the droids, like in TCW, we have all the tactical droids and everything. But before that, it was more believed that organics couldn't, that the droids weren't sophisticated enough because they built them so cheaply to, I mean, like, you had the OOM commander droid models, but for like grand strategy and tactics on a sector level scale versus a battlefield scale, it was believed that organics were more suited than the cheaply made battle droids. I'm gonna fix this crater a little bit later, but let's get some textures up in here. And we'll save. I think only Severance Tan was close to General Admiral. She was a Dark Acolyte and she was a General. Ventress was a Commander. I believe Sora Bolg, because he did lead the defense of Sayalakumi. Sora Bolg may have held the title of General. I think Tolskor was a commander as well. Dirge was a commander, though he wasn't a Dark Acolyte. Trying to think who else. Voss didn't really hold, when he was a Dark Acolyte, he didn't really hold a military rank. He was just kind of Dooku's errand boy. And I feel like a lot of the other minor Dark Acolytes were just basically errand boys. Did I save this? Let me save. It's always a good idea to save. Let's load... Oh no. Let's load some textures in. Concrete. Sorry, I was reading comments. Here. Let's make it 50. It's gonna be a small city, but a city nonetheless. I just kind of want to get a layout going. I'm not going to really put any buildings just yet. We've been streaming for like what? Oh wow, we've been streaming for like 2 hours here. It's also... Oh shoot. Wow, time flies. I'm probably going to go to bed soon, but I want to get to a good stopping point, and I enjoyed chatting with you folks, so... The inhibitor chips are a weak and admittedly cowardly idea, and the way they're implemented is even worse. Nah, I just view it as a cop-out for... They kind of wrote themselves into a corner where they made the clones too buddy-buddy with their Jedi generals to the point where it's like, well, they cannot realistically, conceivably, turn on their Jedi commanders now, so it's like... What do? I'm actually, hold on, height. And we'll do mountains and shit here. And like I said, this will be gradual. The 3 entrances to the city. I'll probably have like 1 or 2 of the base buildings in here. But for now, to kind of give the sense that this is underground, let's get some more mountains up in here. It makes sense that a Jedi of Bolg's prestige would have a semi-active role in the chain of command. Yeah, like I said, he kind of, at least what I got from the sense of the comics was he was pretty active in Sayalakumi's defense during that comic arc. Height. Doesn't matter. Disney lore isn't really consistent with itself, so anything can happen for no reason, for any reason. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about that. A lot of stories being paved over. And now I know they don't have like a tier system like the old EU did, but from what I've seen of Pablo Hidalgo's tweets, I think they're treating there's not like specifically a tier, but I feel like they're treating on-screen media as more canon than book and comic media. So it's like they're inadvertently kind of creating their own EU style tier system without really knowing that they're doing it. Or maybe they are knowing that they're doing it without actually saying it because they've been shitting on the EU for so long that they've kind of built up this expectation that they're going to be as different as they can from the EU, and they've made a lot of the same mistakes already that the EU has made, and to a degree where, you know, even the EU could reconcile most of its mistakes. Lots of stuff going on here. And then I'll leave these sides open for entrances into the city. Perfect. In the Vader book, an entire detachment rebelled and didn't carry out Order 66. That would make for a more compelling story if you had small batches of clones already not complying. So, I read the Vader book, and I don't remember an entire detachment not obeying Order 66. It was mostly Ion Team. And they actually... I can't remember the commander's name who was on Mercana with them, but, it was Commander Get, that was his name. Basically, when Ion Team sabotaged the ambush they were going to do on Roan Shrine, Commander Get was like super pissed, and but amazingly, he gave Roan Shrine and Oli Startzone a head start, but was basically like, I have to hunt you. It's what I have to do, so out of respect for, you know, us serving together for so long, you know, go on ahead, but like, come on. Canon contradicting itself in its own universe will never not be funny to me, especially after the fuss the story group put all being official. Yeah, like I said, in a past stream, the new canon will reboot at some point before we die. They will make a new canon with new movies, new cinematic universe. The problem is they thought they could do with Star Wars the same thing that they did with Marvel, and it doesn't work. Does not work. Yeah, it was a squad of commandos, not an entire detachment. All of the regular clones were in on the ambush. It was Ion Team that they thought like something was wrong. When they got Order 66, they initially thought that it was a separatist trick, that they were jamming their communications, managed to find an official comm code from the Chancellor's office, and issued the order then and there to destroy the High Command and sow confusion. So they weren't keen on executing Order 66 first, and they outright refused afterward. And then Vader ended up coming to Mercana and beheaded all of them. Anyways, folks, it has been real, but this is the start of Ord Cestus. I'm liking how it's coming. I think it looks really cool. Maybe we'll work on it again. Maybe I'll finish it before next mapping stream. Next stream, though, I really want to do a gaming stream. I kind of want to... All this Republic Commando talk makes me want to continue my Republic Commando stream. But, yeah, I think I'm going to close out in a few here, folks. Let y'all get in your closing thoughts in the chat. Because I'm kind of tired. I think I'm going to go to bed. My fiance and I are going to make some crepes in the morning, so I'm pretty stoked. And, yeah, so. Anyways, we will save our progress. Well, let's do a save as. And save as, not Space Planet or Cestus, we want Land Planet or Cestus. Alright. Well, thank you all for joining me, folks. I hope you all have a pleasant evening and a happy April. And hopefully I will get a lore video out this month. And yeah, YouTube willing, because I'm waiting on a copyright strike dispute to go away so I can finally have the video that was supposed to publish in March published now in April. So anyways, I will see you all in all next time. Thank you all for joining me. Later.